If you've ever thought about franchising, maybe starting your own thing, or even growing a business you already have,
Hmm.
then this event coming up in Miami, it's something you really should know about.
Oh, absolutely. The IFA World Franchise Expo, May 9th and 10th. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's basically the place to be if you're curious about franchising at all.
Yeah, buying in, franchising your own business, anything like that. And
Exactly.
picture it, hundreds of brands, right, all laid out, plus seminars, keynotes from, people who've really made it big,
Yeah.
international stuff too.
It can definitely feel like a lot, especially if it's your first time walking into something like that.
Right. So that's what we want to do here,
Hmm.
sort of act as your guide. If we were going for the first time, how would we tackle it? What's the smart way?
Hmm.
Our mission really is to pull out the key bits of info to help you, the listener, navigate this whole thing and get the most out of it.
Okay, and the number one thing, honestly, before you even pack your bags for Miami,
Mm-hmm.
is planning. You've got to know what you want to achieve there.
Okay, planning. Makes sense. But what kind of goals, like what questions should a first-timer be asking themselves before they even get there?
Well, there are probably four main paths people are on when they go to something like this.
Okay.
First, are you looking to buy your very first franchise? Just getting into the game.
Right. Option one.
Second, do you already have a successful business and you're thinking, hey, maybe I could franchise this?
Expanding your own concept. Got it.
Third, maybe you're just gathering intel, soaking it all in, understanding the landscape for maybe a future move.
Information gathering, yeah.
So,
Makes sense.
and fourth, are you looking internationally?
Hmm.
Maybe bringing a foreign brand here or taking a U.S. brand overseas.
Those cover a lot of ground. So once you've sort of figured out which of those buckets you fall into, what's the next practical step?
It sounds simple, but it works. Write down your top 3 goals for the expo.
Just three.
Just 3. Physically writing them down keeps you focused. When you're there and there's so much going on, it's easy to get distracted. This keeps you on track for what you need.
Like a compass. Okay, I like that. Now, the keynotes, they always have some big names. Why are these so important for a first-timer to actually sit through?
These sessions, they give you that high-level perspective. You're hearing directly from people who've built massive franchise systems, navigated all the challenge. It's like getting a look at the blueprints of success.
Okay, let's talk specifics. George Knopf is one speaker. What's something unique a newbie might pick up from him?
George has been in the thick of it for, 30 years? He often talks about the stuff that isn't obvious, like the real quality of the franchisor's ongoing support, not just the initial training blitz.
Beyond the shiny brochure.
Exactly. He stresses vetting that support system, which is super critical and easy to overlook when you're new.
Okay. Then Steve Payton, operational excellence. Sounds important, but maybe more for after you buy. How's that useful beforehand?
Actually, understanding that before you buy helps you judge the opportunities better.
How so?
Well, Steve will likely talk about systems, training, ongoing help, basically how good franchises run smoothly.
Yeah.
As a buyer, you want to see signs of that well-oiled machine. It helps you compare like apples to apples or well-run apples to maybe not so well-run apples.
Gotcha. Looking for the solid foundation. Okay, Steve White, military background, business leadership. What's a key takeaway there for someone about to become their own boss, maybe for the first time?
With Steve, it's often about disciplined execution, clear communication, things vital in the military and just as vital in running a franchise unit.
Right.
So a takeaway might be how to actually build and lead your local team effectively. Structure, clear roles, setting yourself up for success from day one in your own location.
Makes sense. And Mary Kennedy Thompson, service, leadership, veterans. What's the angle there for a first-timer?
Mary brings a perspective that's maybe a bit broader than just the transaction. She talks about personal growth, community impact.
The why behind it.
Yeah, exactly. Especially for veterans transitioning. It's about finding purpose, building something meaningful. And she'll definitely highlight VetFran, the specific resources available for veterans, which is huge.
Okay. Jim Holthauser, hospitality background, scaling brands, customer loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
Why does someone looking at just one unit need to care about that big picture stuff?
Because even with one unit, you need to understand the potential path, right?
Hmm.
Seeing how big brands scale and keep customers happy shows you what a good franchise system looks like long term. It reinforces why sticking to the brand standards matters right from the start. It's seeing the whole forest, even if you're just planting one tree.
Good analogy. Jhonny Mercado, international scaling. Who needs to hear that, even if they're thinking purely local right now?
Honestly. Anyone with even a tiny bit of long-term ambition or just wanting to understand the whole franchise world better.
Really?
Yeah. Hearing about global expansion shows how adaptable the model is. It might spark ideas you hadn't considered. Plus, it just gives you context for the industry as a whole.
Okay. And Maria Rivera building high-performing teams. What if you plan to be super hands-on yourself at the beginning?
Even if you are doing everything initially, eventually you'll need a team to grow, right?
Super.
Maria's insights on team dynamics, communication, creating a good work environment, that's foundational stuff you need to learn eventually. It sets you up to scale later, even if later feels far away right now.
Wow, that's a lot of potential wisdom packed into those keynotes. Any quick tips for actually being in those sessions?
Yeah, definitely get there early for a decent seat. Bring something to take notes, phone, tablet, old school notebook, whatever works.
Uh-huh.
And don't just bolt out afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Hang around a bit, chat with people. Those informal talks can be gold.
Right, networking. Okay, so keynotes are covered. What about the IFA theater seminars? How are they different?
These are more focused, like deep dives into specific topics. Less big picture, more practical, nuts and bolts stuff. Really valuable for learning specific things you need to know as a first-timer.
Okay, let's pull out a few that sound key for newcomers. Franchise basics and trends. What's that give you?
That's your franchising 101, basically.
Yeah.
Covers the fundamentals, what's hot right now, which industries are growing, maybe some emerging brands to watch. It sets the stage.
Foundational. Got it. Then VetFran programs, obviously for veterans.
Absolutely. Veterans, active military, spouses, anyone connected to that community. It details all the support, financial help, mentoring specifically designed to help veterans succeed in franchising. A must attend if that applies to you.
Makes sense. Women in franchising. What's the draw there?
Hearing directly from successful women leaders in the space. You get success stories, practical tips, maybe advice on navigating specific challenges. Plus, it's a great chance to connect with other women in the industry.
Good networking opportunity, too. Okay, buying a franchise. This sounds like core content for many attendees. What's covered?
This gets into the process, evaluating opportunities, due diligence, digging into the details, understanding the FDD, that big legal document.
A franchise disclosure document, right?
Exactly. And navigating the money side. We heard Jerry Akers often speaks at this one and gives really practical, real-world advice. Definitely one to circle.
Good tip. And lastly, creating a franchise from your existing brand. Who's that for?
That's specifically for the business owners we mentioned earlier, the ones thinking about franchising their own successful business. It covers the steps, the legal stuff, building the system, supporting franchisees, a totally different angle.
You mentioned sticking around for Q&A after these seminars. Why is that so valuable?
Oh yeah, that's where you get the unscripted stuff.
Mm.
People ask their specific questions, and the answers can be really candid, really practical things that might not have been in the main talk. It's your chance to get personalized insights.
Okay, plan done. Keynotes and seminars mapped out. Now, the big one. The exhibit floor. Hundreds of booths. It sounds intense. Where do you even start?
It can be intense, but strategy helps. Start with industries you actually care about or have some background in, like home services, food, fitness, maybe senior care, education, whatever clicks with your skills or passions. Filtering by interest makes it way less overwhelming.
Okay, so you narrow it down by industry. Then what? What's the goal when you walk up to a booth?
Talk to the franchisees. If they have actual owners there, talk to them. Ask about the day-to-day grind, the real support they get, the financial reality. That's often more revealing than the slick marketing pitch.
Get the inside scoop. What about all the paper, the brochures, the flyers?
Be picky. Seriously, bring a small bag and only grab stuff from brands you're genuinely interested in. You can find most info online later anyway. Don't weigh yourself down.
Smart. Keep it light. And after you talk to someone at a booth, how do you remember it all?
Take quick notes right after you walk away. What stood out? Any specific answers you got? What was your gut feeling? Just a few bullet points will help jog your memory later when everything starts blurring together.
Good habit. And what about the questions to ask? What are the hard questions you shouldn't be afraid to ask?
Definitely ask about all the fees.
Yeah.
Not just the initial one. Royalties, marketing fees, tech fees.
Yeah.
Get the full picture.
Right.
Ask about training initial and ongoing. Ask about marketing support. And crucially, ask them what makes them different from their competitors. Why choose their brand?
Get specific. Okay. It sounds like even if you don't find the one franchise at the expo, the whole experience is still worthwhile.
Oh, totally. Just learning about different models, seeing various industries up close, making connections. That knowledge is invaluable for your search,
Yeah.
even if you find your perfect fit months later. It's a huge learning curve accelerator.
Now, what about people thinking bigger globally? You mentioned international pavilions. What goes on there?
Yeah, that's a specific zone. You'll find international brands looking for partners to bring them into the U.S. or maybe into your country if you're attending from abroad.
Okay.
You'll also see U.S. brands looking to expand overseas and maybe foreign brands wanting to break into the U.S. market. It's a hub for cross-border franchising.
So for someone with that kind of ambition and maybe the resources, this could be where major deals happen.
Exactly. If you've got a global vision and the capital, those pavilions could definitely open doors to significant investment opportunities, bringing established brands to new places or vice versa. Lots of potential there.
Okay, let's switch to some quick practical tips. Insider stuff for first-timers to make the day go smoother. Top tip.
Arrive early, like 30-45 minutes before the doors officially open. Trust me, you'll skip the worst of the registration lines and get a head start on the floor before it gets jammed.
Good one. What about what to wear? Suit and tie, super casual.
Smart casual is usually the way to go. Look professional, you're meeting potential partners, right? But definitely wear comfortable shoes. You'll be walking miles.
Oh yeah, killer shoes are a rookie mistake. Any tech to leverage? Apps or anything?
Check for an official Expo app. Most big shows have one now. It'll likely have the schedule, exhibitor list, map, maybe even networking tools. Download it beforehand. Use it to plan your attack.
Makes sense. We keep mentioning networking. Any tips for actually doing it, especially if you're maybe a bit introverted?
Just take a breath and do it. Have a quick intro ready, who you are, what you're looking for. Ask people questions about their experience between sessions waiting for coffee. Just strike up conversations, grab contact info, and maybe jot down a note about who they were.
And after the expo's over, everyone goes home. What's the crucial next step?
Follow up. Within, say, 48 hours. Send a quick, personalized email to the people and brands you connected with. Remind them who you are. Mention something from your chat. Keep the momentum going. Don't let those leads go cold.
Right. Strike while the iron's hot. Okay, lastly, George now from myperfectfranchise.com comes up as a key resource, especially for first-timers. How can people connect with him?
Yeah, George has, like we said, decades of experience helping people find the right fit. He guides first-time buyers, multi-unit owners. He knows the ropes.
He'll be there.
He'll be in Miami, yes. Available to chat about your goals, your background, what you're looking for financially. He helps people cut through all the noise.
So talking to him could potentially save you a lot of time and maybe prevent mistakes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He can help match you with opportunities that genuinely align with you. It's worth reaching out before, during, or even after the expo. It's like having a seasoned navigator for your franchise journey.
This has been super helpful. It really paints a picture of how to tackle this expo strategically. It does sound like a can't-miss event if you're serious about franchising.
It really is unique. That concentration of opportunity, knowledge, connections. It only happens once a year like this.
So for everyone listening, the message seems clear. Do your homework, go in with a plan, ask lots of questions, talk to people, and use the resources available, like the experts who are there.
Exactly. You know, that franchise future you might be dreaming about. It could genuinely start taking shape in Miami. The real question is, are you going to be there to take that first step?